Legal panel now. Trial attorney Richard Roth, former federal prosecutor Douglas Burns. Richard, there's a lot of people upset that he's being taken to Lower Manhattan, but you know, when we catch people who are accused of things, normally what we do is we arrest them and give them a lawyer and try them, right?
They're turning into a political issue. You're right, Shep. It's New York versus Guantanamo. And the bottom line is that you want to nail this guy, using a legal term, and you want to deter other people from doing so. To nail him, if you look at the statistic, there are 67 convictions since 9/11 in the United States, and only 7 in Guantanamo, 2 of which have been overturned. So you do not want to lose this fight. So the reason why he's in the U.S. is because the system is better. We have stronger rules of evidence. This is a man who was quoted as, one of the audios said, the storms will not stop, especially the airplane storms on the U.S. So reason one is you want to nail him, you want him in New York. The second reason why you want him in New York is because you want the world to see that this guy is not going to get away with it to deter other people from doing exactly what he was doing.
It's our understanding, at least in the early going, that he had no operational involvement, that he wasn't a threat of that kind.
No, that's right. I mean, the counter-argument, I understand Richard's point, but the counter-argument, Shepard, is number one, security cost and congestion problems in Lower Manhattan. And I want to point out, it's very interesting, we were looking at a statute here.
If they're worried about congestion problems in Lower Manhattan, they could say no more presidents come here, because that's the biggest problem.
Well, I agree with that, by the way, actually. But the point is, this statute says that when acts are committed elsewhere, not in the United States, you can bring or try the person where they're first brought. They literally could have brought them to any court in the country, including the District of Columbia. So I'm not caught up necessarily in the Guantanamo versus civilian court issue. But the other point, which was made with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, is giving a platform for all kinds of political rhetoric, speeches, and so forth. And that militates in favor of using a military tribunal.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The military tribunals have only been successful 5 times since 9/11. That's 12 years, 5 times. If you want to nail this guy and you want to send a message to the world, you just don't do this to Americans on American soil. And part of what his prosecution is for the initial bombing of the World Trade Center, then you do it in New York. Do it. It's a very strong statement.
What if you lose?
Well,
what if the evidence is
I want to say,
what if you can't convince one juror?
Well, I would submit to you that that's a problem, but I would submit to you that the federal government does not bring that case unless they know they're going to win it, and they have a much better chance, in light of the history, of winning that in New York versus in Guantanamo. The other thing is that it's a much quicker system. New York, it'll be over by certainly 2014. Guantanamo is a long system, drawn out, and not as popular.
But the other problem I just wanted to add, Shepard, is a symbolic one, and that is that putting the trial in a venue that's a mile away from the worst attack on U.S. soil in U.S. history, I think there's a legitimate point to be made that that's not a venue. There's some symbolic negativity there.
Yep, you did us in here, we're going to do you in here too. I mean, that's another way to look at it.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's the competing argument.
That's exactly right.
No,
we'll see. Well, he's here, and we won't see him because he's going to go underneath, and I guess in a year we'll find out what happens to him.
That's exactly right.
Thanks, guys.
Sure. Thank you.